expecting this one. That's good. That's good. I'm Uncle Ken. So I've been honored today because I've been given the responsibility of parking David's car someplace where none of you can find it. So I thought I would start this off with an auction. Just joking. There's probably too much money in this room. We're not going to go there. Okay. All right. So I'd like to say a few things about the Laura that I know, and then the Laura and David that I know. And I think Laura would be surprised at how much I really know, because see, her dad and I share a common challenge as fathers, and that is, raising daughters to be modern women. And so we network regularly in this challenge because it's a challenge and it's a treasure. Now, it also has a side effect. And the side effect of raising daughters is it does something to men's hair. Now, you can see what it's turned lime gray, and there are people in this room that are very nice and gracious and call it silver. But then it also has affected Don. But we won't go there right now. Okay, so the Laura that I know. The Laura that I know starts early. It starts with an early driving experience that Laura had. And the story goes that she and my oldest daughter, Christine, got in my dad's golf cart for a drive around the neighborhood in Wilmington, North Carolina. Now, I think we all gritted our teeth when we saw them leave, but the story ended with the golf cart nose down in a drainage ditch, with both girls just fine. And to this day, I don't know who was driving, but it wouldn't have mattered because either one of them would have put it in the ditch. So at that point, done. And I'm sure Don can share other driving stories that came along later, but I don't know many of those. So the other story about the Laura that I know comes in the form of a sort of a compilation of phone calls. So in the evening, I would look down at my cell phone, and there it would be ringing, and I'd look, and it would be Laura. So I'd hit the button, and a typical phone call would go something like this. Hello, it's Lala. Now, Lala was the nickname that one or more of the little kids that Laura was the nanny for gave her. So she would say, hello, it's Lala. And then she would go on and regale me with the stories of the day. It usually had something to do with the bodily functions of small children. But it would always end up with an accomplishment, sometimes very magnificent accomplishments, like I got an A in chemistry. And I can relate to that. But it always ended with I love you, which I cherish. So now, on to the David and Laura that I know. So now, continue the sports theme and the phone call theme. Occasionally I would call Laura in the evening, and the phone would answer, and in the background would be two sounds. First, the roar of the crowd at whatever sports arena that the two of them would be standing in. The other would be David's voice, giving color commentary, play-by-play, in her ear while he's watching the thing. So my hat's off to the guy that did it. So they share this common experience, as we all know. The other thing that I know about the two of them is what I see. I see love, but I also see an extension of love, which is respect. The two of you respect each other, and you love each other, and that's a great start. So keep it up. Okay, so I'm going to finish up going back and saying a few things about Laura. And it has to do with her being a West Virginia girl. Now, Dave, you know what that means, don't you? But all you got to do is look at the license plate. There are 2 words on the West Virginia license plate. The first one is wild. Well, we know she's got a little bit of wild, all right? And the other is wonderful. And we know you're wonderful. That's certain. And then the last thing is a description of West Virginia, which is almost heaven. So David, you got to be Zen. I can tell you. And I know you'll cherish her, and she will cherish you. And the rest of us, well, we're going to help you along. Right now, we're going to raise our glasses to Laura and David. David, wonderful day, wonderful life.
Hi, how you doing? My name's Mike Turner, I'm David's best friend, and going into thinking about doing this, there's a lot of memories that came to mind. I've known David for almost a decade now, and I might have to use my cheat sheet a little bit, because I had a few things I want to say. But with that, it's like some of the things are things that David and I have gone through together. We worked together. He's been willing to help me out around my house. He's been a great friend. He's always been there and for me. And I know that what he's done for me, he will do for you, Laura. And with that, it's, David's a man of many words, I would say that too. But sometimes you have to think of the words that are coming out of his mouth. I know maybe many of you have heard him say some things, and all of a sudden he's like, did he say that? Did he really say that? Well, David's a man of many words, but sometimes you have to wonder if it's true. And it's kind of like the other day when Laura found out that he had taken accordion lessons. And Laura's like, oh my God, I never knew this about him, and I'm getting ready to marry him in a week. And I told Laura, at that point, and this was on Facebook, I said, Laura, haven't you learned by now? Everything that comes out of David's mouth is not the truth. Come on, he's a salesman. And although last night I was proven wrong, David did take accordion lessons. His mom verified that, although the dang thing was bigger than he was at the time. So David was like a snake oil salesman. Once he gets something in his mind, he'll sell it to you, no matter whether you don't want it or not, but he's a great guy. But here's one major point, Laura. David is a through and through University of Georgia fan, and we know that. And that any other team under his household conversion, you know that's not going to happen. So, you might as well put the Steelers to bed and let them go to rest. Otherwise, or even these. I know that. I know. But anyway, I thought that would make you laugh. But Laura, I know that you've done a lot going through school, getting through school, and you've worked really hard on that, and you're going to be working even harder in rotation. And I can tell you this, Laura, about David, that he loves you, and he loves you very dearly. And that with love comes a responsibility between each other, and that is to work on your relationship every day. Love is not something that just can be gone to lightly. It is something that we all have to work at every day to make sure that we're renewing it every day, and that it's something that will grow from this point forward in this moment in time. And the other thing I have to tell David is that you might have to help out a little bit, kind of like when the brownies are sitting on the kitchen counter, and all of a sudden Laura asks you about the crumbs. And, you might have to help out a little bit and making sure that whenever the brownies are coming to sit on the couch with you watching ESPN, and Laura asks you about that, you might want to tell the truth. But it goes a long way just to say, I love you. But when you say those words, make sure that when you say I love you, you always mean it. And I know it's been heard and said many times that never go to bed upset or with each other, because those things can just fester overnight and become worse the next day. So if there's anything ever bothering you, discuss it and keep an open mind, open heart, and go from there. Anyway, I think that the two of you have a wonderful relationship and continue to grow. I love you both, and I think that, you know, one of the major things, most people always say that money is a major relationship problem, but always keep in mind that God will provide in a new way to anything that you need. So with that, I just want to say, let's raise our glasses and give a toast to David Moore, my best friend, and to you two together, and now and forever.
Round of applause for all the